Hello, 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 guys. Welcome to this live broadcast. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am Skip LaCour. I am so glad you are here today. When you come onto this live broadcast, make sure that you say hello. Hello, Pete. Hello, James. Hello, Musashi. Great to have you here. It doesn't matter if you're watching me live, which I love this connection with you, or you're watching on a replay version. I want you to post your comments, your questions, your suggestions down below. I want you to say hello. I always want to acknowledge you every time you join me for our show, our connection, Workouts for Older Men Live. You're a little bit older, you have a busy, productive life. Fitness is important to you. I want to help just go through this journey with you as your coach, as your friend, as your virtual training partner. All right, so I'm so glad you're here, whether you're watching me on YouTube, Skip LaCour on Facebook, Skip LaCour page. Paul is watching me from San Antonio. Dwayne is here. Hey, how you doing, Dwayne? Good to have you here. You know, in this video, I want to talk about some exercise execution. I want to talk about and just tell you the thought process that I have while doing dumbbell presses for shoulders, right? So I'm going to kind of explain that to you during this live broadcast. From the time I approach the weight, all the things that I think about when I do dumbbell presses for shoulders. All right, so continue to say hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. Tell me what you're loving about our Workouts for Older Men Live broadcast, our connection. Do you want to see more tips? A lot of guys say, look, I love connecting with you. Give me some of those tips. I want to climb inside your mind. 6-time national champion bodybuilder, doing it for 30 plus years. All right, so I want to give some of those tips to you. I want to tell you some things that I think about while I'm doing dumbbell presses. Again, continue to post your questions, your comments, your suggestions down below. That's what makes this so fun, is the connection. Again, whether you're watching it live on a replay version, I am so glad you are here. All right, so there's some things that I think about when I'm doing these dumbbell presses. Now, the first thing is that I don't like to spend a lot of time once I touch the dumbbells. It could be barbells, the machine. I don't like to spend a lot of time once I grab them and then start thinking about getting into the movement. All right? There's something that I always say to myself, that I want to be ready to go once my hands touch that metal. All right, so that's just kind of a thought process I go through. Here's another thing, too, is that you'll see people like, if you challenge yourself on the heavier dumbbells, and now, again, weight isn't the only thing that you should be concerned with. It's part of the process. Mind-muscle connection is important, too. So one thing is that I never do is I'll never go way down here and pick up a set of dumbbells and then come over here and then start the exercise, right? Because it breaks my pattern. And I want you to try this, right? These small details, with all this effort that you're putting in, it'll make a big difference, especially when it's stacked over time. So, like I said, I like to go, be ready to go. Mind-muscle connection, hit that weight. As I'm challenged, I like to be ready to go when my hand touches the metal. So I don't want to walk way down and then come find the bench. What I'll do is I'll bring the bench to the heavy weight, right? Now here's another thing too, is that a lot of times, guys, and I appreciate your respect for other people around the gym. And you'll hear guys say like, well, you want to give this rack so much weight, so much space between you and the rack so that people can walk in front of you and get the dumbbells. All right? Now again, that comes from a good place in your heart. I know that too. What I've discovered in the gym, if you know what you want, and this is a good strategy for life, when you know what you want, people will move out of the way. A set will take 15 seconds, right? So you can be extra courteous and anticipate someone walking in front of you, and they may never, ever walk in front of you, right? Be extra courteous, I guess, and cause yourself to pick up weights, move them down, move the benches. So just momentarily, I'll bring the weight. I'll bring the bench to the weight. Also, you don't want people blocking that focus walking in front of you. So you want to claim your space. I know for a lot of guys, you guys are really nice guys. You kind of think about everybody who's around you all the time and don't want to offend people or potentially offend people. All right? I hear that a lot in the gym. But again, I don't know about you. I respect a man who knows what he wants. He's focused, he's determined, and he's quick and efficient. Again, a set is going to take you 15 seconds. Right? It's good to think about in life too. You don't want to anticipate challenges that aren't there. You're going to spend your whole time worrying about what could happen. Just go for it. Again, that type of thought, it seems like a small thing, makes a big difference over time, especially when you stack that over all the energy that you put in the gym, where you want to focus it. It's a good strategy for life too, right? When I do the dumbbells, I mean, the toughest thing sometimes when you challenge yourself away is the kick up. The kick up can be the toughest thing. And there's a certain strategy where you try to kick it up as high as you can in the dumbbell, if you can see me over here, right? And you put it in that spot. You don't want to try to throw it over. It's going to be too heavy. And then you do it with the other hand, right? That's an art form. Try practicing that right away. You'll also notice on the movement, a couple things that you'll notice is that I go in a tight A-frame. I don't push it up. A lot of times when you try to push it straight up, it'll want to bow out, especially when it's heavyweight. You want to fight that, and I aim for a slight A-frame moving forward. Also, you'll notice I'll explode in a 1 count, and then I'll control it in a 1-2 count, and I'll turn the weights at the bottom too. You'll see it either way. This gives me brings it down a little bit more. It's a little bit more comfortable on the shoulders. Which is important, especially when you challenge your weight, especially like a smaller muscle group like shoulders. You really want to be careful with your shoulders. You don't want to press your shoulders. I know a lot of older guys, a lot of shoulder injuries. It's not worth it, right? We're just stimulating the muscles, so you want to be careful. One thing that you may not be able to see when I'm doing this, when I'm holding the dumbbell, right, my grip, right, when I'm holding it, it's not, I don't put the weight evenly on the grip, right, the weight pressing. What I'll do is I'll put more weight on the inner part of my hand, more tension. So it's kind of like, you can almost lighten up on the outside of your hand because most of the grip is on the inside of my hand. And just try that. Just a firm, even grip, or when it's more towards the middle of your hand. See, you'll feel a little bit more in your shoulders, right? Again, I explode in the 1-2 count. I control it on the way down I explode in the 1 count and I bring it down in the 1-2 count. One other thing too is you might notice the bench that I have, how looks like it's slightly back. Well, in these particular benches, right, I love the higher back rather than the smaller one. And just for me, the notch, it's either going to be too rigid, too high, or too low. I mean, the angle's too steep. And it is a little too steep for me, so I'll have to compensate with how I arch my back and move it up. Because I know it looks odd, it almost looks like an incline press, but you can compensate for that with your body, right? So those are all the things that I think about. Let me do a set here. You can watch what I actually do. All right, so as I set up, I'm going to be ready. So right when I touch the dumbbells, I'm ready to go. I've already thought about it. All right, so those are some things I think about when I do dumbbell presses for shoulders. Probably didn't realize so many things than just pressing the weight, right? Those are the things I want to share with you in addition to connecting with you here for Workouts for Older Men Live. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, go ahead and post your questions, your comments, your suggestions down below. I want to answer those for you. Hello, Deandra, sweet, from India. Shallow. Zakir. Bruce, good to have you here. Robert. Devandra. Keith, good to have you here. Razik. Ali from New Hampshire. Gary, John, David, Batmuth. Robert, good to have you here. Russ. Zakir. Mohammed. All right, guys. Hey, join my 12-week transformation journey. It's coming up in just 2.5 weeks, and the one-on-one coaching is already starting. I see Bobby here. I see Keith here. They've already had their 3 one-on-one coaching sessions with me. 3 hours spread over 3 weeks. I take you through a goal-setting session for the first hour. The calls are recorded, right? Keith, Bobby, tell them how awesome this is, and whoever else who's already joining the journey. Second, we talk about training, get you certain and confident with your training routine. Again, the call is recorded to learn from over and over and over again. And then we have the third one-on-one session where we talk about nutrition. I'm going to help you understand what you need to know and help you throw away all the things you don't need to know so you can move forward with your eating habits, important eating habits with certainty and confidence. Again, all these 3 conversations are recorded so you listen to them over and over again. All right, and then I connect with you every single week for 10 or 20 minutes on the phone until we lead up to our 12 weeks. Join all the guys on conference calls every single week. Questions and answers. I've got a topic. All 12 weeks, we're going to break down. You're going to have this mastered. You're going to be paced by me because every single week I'm going to check in with you on the phone. It's private. It's personal. Real lasting change. Go to skiplacour.com/transformation. If you're at all interested, right, fill out that questionnaire at skiplacour.com/transformation. Join us. Busy, ambitious, productive men making fitness a priority, whether this is the first time you're making a priority or coming back. Maybe you used to follow me back in the days, my daily training journals online, and then you got your family and your business together. Now you want to make it more of a priority. I want you to come along. Real lasting change with this 12-week fitness transformation challenge. All right, guys, I am so glad you're here. Continue to post your comments, your questions, your suggestions down below. Make sure you like this page. Make sure you favor my notifications when my videos come that you know. Make sure you're on all of my social media platforms. All right, guys? Hey, if you're a little bit older, got busy, productive lives, right, you know that we got to attack this with a sense of urgency. We got more time behind us than we do in front of us. A little bit sobering, but it gets me fired up. I got to make the most out of every single day. So do you. So your training, your eating, get that weight down, bring out the muscle. This is the best your body's going to be right now at this age. I don't care what age you are. This is the best time for you to take advantage of what you have. So train, eat, produce for your family, your legacy. If you're going to do it now. Love, connect with a sense of urgency. All right, guys, have a great day. Have an outstanding day. Have an awesome day. Think big and think bigger than getting bigger.